All right, Shalom, Shalom. It's the brother Yahweh Shapar coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwarash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do teach and rule well in these scriptures. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, man, and peace and blessings to their families. You know, uh, this is going to be a real quick hit. You know, I pretty much wanted to bring out Numbers 1 and 18 because, you know, out there in the world, it's a lot of confusion as to where, you know, your pedigree comes from. You know, you'll ask a person what they're mixed with and so on and so forth. And they'll go on and say, my mother is this and that and the third. And, you know, from the time that you say that, you know, you pretty much going off, man. You know, what you are, what your father is. So if your father was a Edomite man and he married himself unto a so-called black woman, you know, and they had you, that would make you an Edomite child, you know, by your pedigree. If your father was an Israelite man, say he was a Judite man, and he got with an Edomite woman, which is a so-called white woman today, you know, hey, you would by pedigree be an Israelite child, you know. So your pedigree has nothing to do with the color that you are. It has to do with your father's genetics. You know, you could come out and inherit certain genes from your mother, you know, that would you know, say you could have inherited more genes from your Edomite mother than you did from your father. But you know, so that like I say, that could result in you looking like more like your mother's side. Like, you know, you could look more on the Edomite side, but your bloodline, you know, your pedigree is the makeup of an Israelite man. You know, so it has nothing to do with color, which the bulk of us over here in the Americas, we look like who we are. You know, a lot of us look like whichever tribe we came from, but there's a great multitude of Israelite men, women, and children that they might look like these other nations, but their father's line goes back to an Israelite man. So what they look like doesn't matter. You know, and a lot of these other camps, they won't teach this. They don't teach this. You know, it could be, and that's wicked, man. You know, it could be a brother that he looks like a Moabite, which a Moabite is a so-called Chinese person today. You know, a brother could look like a Moabite, man, and he comes to the camp inquiring and being sincere. And, you know, a group such as IUIC or IUSPK will tell him, hey, man, you know, get your gook ass out of here, man. You know, we ain't dealing with you, you know, and you have to deal with all of the other nations because we are scattered amongst them, every last one of them, you know. Hey, the Lord said he was going to scatter us across the four corners of the earth, man. The Lord was going to scatter us into the four winds. So whichever nation, it could be the smallest nation, man. There's somewhere, somehow, there's an Israelite amongst that nation. You know, thus saith the Holy Scriptures. But, you know, I'm sticking to the point. I'm going to go ahead and read Numbers 1 and 18. You know, I've had it here on the screen for a second, but this is Numbers 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. So when it came to them figuring out who they were and you know, families and things of that nature, they started with the house of their fathers. So there you go, man. You are what your father is, man. You know, getting into the confusion, the face thing a little more, that would take a little bit more time, and you know, it would, you know, it would be a hefty lesson. But you know, just like I said briefly going into it, you're gonna have Israelites that look like all of these other nations. You know, not every Israelite is gonna look like an Israelite. You know, due to the fact of us being scattered amongst these nations for thousands of years, centuries. You know, you got to think. So like at it, well, yeah. We've been amongst these, yeah, some of us have been amongst these other nations for centuries. So what happens is when you drop an Israelite man off in a Moabite territory, he's gonna pop Moabite women. Eventually, he's gonna have children. His children are gonna have children. Do you think that they're going to retain that Jake color, that dark brown skin? No, man. A lot of those kids will eventually look just like those Moabites. But that doesn't mean that they are Moabites. It'll always be something that sticks out about them like a sore thumb. You know, if you notice, you'll have these Israelite foreigners in these other countries, and all of them tell the same story, how, you know, they're ostracized from their people, and they're not knowing why they're ostracized from their people, but they just know that they're different in those other nations that they're amongst. They know that something's different about you. You know, uh, I met a Ishmaelite chick. Well, she's not an Ishmaelite chick, but you know, that's where she comes from. She came over here, and she built like a Jake woman. You know how Jake women is, man. They got that big old butt, man. You know, and I ain't trying to be vulgar or nothing like that, but and she acts like a Jake woman. You know what I'm saying? And I could just tell. I'm like, hey, man, you know, I asked. I'm like, man, you know, where you from, man? Are you from here? Because I didn't know where she was from. And she, you know, told me, yeah, man, I'm from over there, but I've been over here a lot. You know, I'm from over there. Like I say, she's an Ishmaelite, so she from over there in Iraq. You know, but she always said that, you know, her people say that she act. They tell her she act like a nigga, man. That's literally what she said. They told her that she act like a black woman. You know, she got them traits. You know, so hey, I would bet that somewhere down the line, she's got a Jake father. You know, her father was, yeah, her father is a Jake. You know, I run into a lot of confusion to face brothers and sisters, and you can just tell by the spirit on them, man. You know, and the way that they move, walk, and talk. You know, you have to have the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to be able to see through the flesh. You know, but yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. You know, Lord willing, I'll get into a more extensive lesson uh, on the confusion of faith, brothers and sisters, man, that are scattered abroad out there. You know that some of them are actually adhering to this truth more than uh, those Israelites who might know that they're Israelites, or those who are of the you know, who would be considered of the commonwealth of whatever tribe they from. Man, you know, for lack of better words, you got Judites out here, you got Southern Kingdom, Northern Kingdom Jakes that hey, they full blooded, they got the look, but the Lord ain't dealing with them. You know, and then you got these confusion of faith brothers and sisters. They ready to learn. You know, they full of the spirit. You know, you had that going on back during the time of the apostles, the apostle Paul. You know, and Saint Peter. You know, and all of the other saints, man, that Yahweh Shah left unto us. You know, and gave them this word. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. No, Lord willing, this is edifying. And until the next one, I say Shalom.